Good morning. It's Friday morning. Today we're on Psalm 69, and we're going to read verses 1 through 12. How about that? It's about 40 verses. We're not going to read all of it. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in deep mire where there is no foothold. I have come into deep waters, and the flood sweeps over me. I am weary with my crying out. My throat is parched. My eyes grow dim with waiting for my God. More in number than the hairs of my head are those who hate me without cause. Mighty are those who would destroy me, those who attack me with lies. What did I not steal? What I did not steal, must I now restore? O God, you know my folly. The wrongs I have done are not hidden from you. Let not those who hope in you be put to shame through me, O Lord God of hosts. Let not those who seek you be brought to dishonor through me, O God of Israel. For it is for your sake that I have borne reproach, that dishonor has covered my face. I have become a stranger to my brothers, an alien to my mother's arms. For zeal for your house has consumed me, and the reproaches of those who reproach you have fallen on me. Save me, O God, the water's up to my neck. You ever feel like that? You're like, oh, drowning, and you can't get your foothold, and you can't, you know, it's just mud at the bottom, and you're drowning, and you don't have long, and help me, somebody save me, pull me out of this river, out of this lake. Yeah, that's a terrible feeling. Now, Isaiah says, that God will be with us and walk us through deep water and walk us through fire, and we won't get burned and all of that. He never says we won't get wet, though, in the deep water. So we go into the deep water, but God is going to take us through it and pull us out of it. That's the promise, and that's our hope. But when you're in the water, it's dangerous. I was in the Nantahala River one time on a ducky, which is a tiny little inflatable sort of kayak thing that they rent. And I'm doing good, and I go over this last little class 3 waterfall sort of a thing, and a ducky shoots out from between my legs, and it's gone. So there I am in the water. And immediately, what do? You try to stand up. Well, at that spot, there's rocks down about 4 feet under the water, and if you stand up on those rocks and you don't do it just right, your feet get caught, and then the water pushes you down, and so your feet are caught, and you're down under the water, and you're drowning, and this is where people die. And of course, what did I do? I immediately try to stand up, and then I realized, don't do that, and I'm, swimming out of it. Well, it's only a couple of feet till you're fine. Then I realized that my paddle and my ducky are floating away, and the next thing 100 yards down the river is a dam, and if it goes over there, it's gone. And there's my son laughing at me, and I'm like, get my paddle, and finally he does. So we all got through it. But in that moment of panic, you're like, oh no, what do I do? And that's exactly the moment that David describes here. Save me, O God, the waters are up to my neck. All these people are attacking me. Don't let your name be sullied because of their attacks. That's one of the main points here in this psalm. Toward the end of what we read, he says, zeal for your house has consumed me. And that's the verse that's pulled out by the New Testament writers when Jesus cleanses the temple, drives out the money changers and the merchants who were in the temple and who were selling stuff so that people could do their sacrifices. And he didn't like that. He didn't like the way they were acting and the way they were treating people, the way they were profiting off of God's temple system. And so he turns over their tables and drives them out. And it says, zeal for your house has consumed me. So they remember this verse and they think, oh, that's what happened here. So we don't need to let zeal for his house consume us necessarily. We don't necessarily want to be that guy doing all those things. On the other hand, we do have zeal for God's house, and we do want to serve God, and we certainly don't want our mistakes or misfortunes to cause people to turn away from God because, oh, see, God didn't help him. Can't be trusted, and we don't want that. So, save me, God. The waters are up to my neck. When you feel like that, remember this psalm, and I'm sure you'll feel like that once in a while. In the meantime, have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.